It's the book everybody is talking about. The Woman in the Window is a psychological thriller that Stephen King describes as one of those rare books that really is unput-downable. It's the most widely acquired debut novel of all time, and there's already a movie in the works, too. AJ Finn, looks like you hit one out of the park on your first try.
I'm still pinching myself. I'm bruised all over. It's been amazing.
I bet it has. So tell us about this incredible story and what in your life actually inspired it.
So The Woman in the Window is basically Rear Window for the 21st century. Our protagonist is a former child psychologist, now housebound by agoraphobia. She literally cannot set foot outside. And this proves problematic when she witnesses what appears to be a murder in a house across the park. But she can't persuade anyone to believe what she saw, including the police. And as time passes, she starts to question whether she saw anything at all. And I wrote this book in part as an homage to Rear Window and to the films of Hitchcock and other classic movie directors. I love old films. I love, in particular, how they set aside violence and expressly graphic content in favor of restraint and suggestion and dare I say it, tastefulness. That's the sort of book I wanted to write. And into this character, I put and poured a lot of my own experience. I'd struggled with depression my entire adult life since age 21. And the character in the novel is herself going through some mental health issues. So I wanted to help guide her by the hand and lead her to a better place.
It really is such a fascinating story. And Anna Fox, the main character, her life is such a mess. And yet there's so much to love about her. What do you think is so special about her?
Oh, good. I'm really pleased to hear you say that. Speaking for myself, I know that I've read quite a lot of books, especially psychological thrillers, in which I don't find the main character particularly sympathetic. So I'm pleased to hear that you didn't feel that way about Anna. I think the secret to her appeal, such as it is that she is, I hope, a well-rounded character. She's got hobbies and habits. We can relate to her. And too often in these novels, the characters seem to exist solely to serve the plot. You get the sense that if these particular events hadn't befallen them, they wouldn't have anything to do at all. So I think Anna feels like a real person, albeit a flawed one, and that's why people can access her and root for her.
I think it's pretty remarkable that before you even gave away the book rights, you were talking about movie rights. Tell us that story.
Yes, we sold the movie rights actually before we sold any of the book rights. The book had just gone on submission to publishers. And Fox, the movie studio, happened to get a copy. I was in LAX when my agent rang. I was returning from holiday, and she said, well, Fox have made an offer. It's called an exploding offer, meaning you have to accept or reject it on the phone right now. So I said, okay, what's the offer? And she said, it's $1 million. Do you want it? Well, yes, I would like that, I said to her. And there we were, off to the races.
If you could pick your dream cast for this movie, who would you see playing the main characters?
Do you know, I've been asked this question quite a lot. I just don't have an idea in my head. There are so many actresses who would be wonderful. So I'm just going to let the producer, Scott Rudin, who has an Oscar, and the screenwriter, Tracy Letts, who has a Pulitzer, I'll let them make that decision. I think they've got good ideas.
Yeah, I bet they do. I was seeing Winona Ryder as I was thinking about her, so maybe that's a good option.
She'd be great, especially Stranger Things mode. Absolutely.
Yeah,
yep.
Definitely. All right, well, it was such a fun book to read. I just couldn't put it down. And I know folks are going to be looking forward to meeting you when you're here in Nashville. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right, AJ's going to be signing copies of The Woman in the Window this Sunday at 2 p.m. at Parnassus Books in Green Hills. For more information, go to newschannel5.com. We've got all the details right there.